Dawn breaks over the sludge-stained valley, and your ears start leaking despair. Not from war drums, not from saber-tooth growls, but from the sonic war crime that is your neighbors discovering music. Again. You're hunched beside your sad little fire pit, nursing a bowl of lukewarm root paste that tastes like betrayal and bark when it starts. Across the shallow ravine, Clan launches into another prehistoric jam session, like they're auditioning for the world's first music festival. Stonechella. Spoiler. It's all noise, no vibe. One guy's banging two rocks together like he's mad at them. Another is slapping a wet log like it owes him food. Someone, possibly named Blanc, has declared himself the conductor and is now screeching into a hollowed gourd. It sounds like a crow giving birth inside a cave full of pan flutes and disappointment. This is not music. This is sonic vandalism. This is an ancient migraine wrapped in mammoth fur. You didn't vote for this, you didn't agree to this, but this is cave life now. Welcome to the Paleolithic suburbs, where nobody respects fire boundaries, personal space is a myth, and your peaceful breakfast is routinely shattered by some loincloth lunatic experimenting with throat singing in the middle of your tuber garden. Let's clear something up. Cavemen weren't loners. They didn't brood in solo caves like angry trolls, stockpiling mammoth ribs and muttering about flint inflation. Early humans rolled in packs. Tight, smelly, codependent bands of 20 to 40, roaming the wilds in search of tubers, warmth, and someone who didn't snore like a drowning elk. You shared everything: food, shelter, lice, and strong opinions about whose turn it was to clean the bone pile. This was your whole world. Family, friends, that one cousin who thinks moss cures heartbreak. You were stuck with them, and they were stuck with you. But every now and then, another band showed up. They strut in with matching pelts, fancy baskets, and passive-aggressive cave art. Suddenly, your peaceful riverfront turns into a prehistoric HOA. Too many toddlers, not enough roots, and one guy who poops upstream despite the very clear warning stick. Thus, neighbors. Not the helpful kind, the loud kind. The fire-borrowing, goat-staring, ritual-chanting at midnight kind. Congratulations, you've just invented suburbia. And let's be honest, not all neighbors are bad. Some bring extra roots, shiny rocks, and gossip about who got chased by a goose at dawn. Some share fire, help fend off bears, and teach you how to mash tubers without dislocating your elbow. They joke with you, mourn with you, show up with kindness and the occasional fermented fruit. But some are Clan. An Clan is a lot. They're loud, they borrow firewood and forget it forever. They treat bathing as a seasonal suggestion. Their shaman sounds like he's strangling a goose while summoning budget thunder spirits. Their toddlers throw lizards like it's a sport. Their entire camp smells like steamed regrets and burnt fungus. Their alpha? He greets the sun daily with screams like "Org strong, Org fast, Org pee furthest." One time he yelled, "Org loves self," and you almost applauded until he peed in your drinking stash. You've tried everything: glares, leaf screens, fake spirit visions. Their dog, a large rodent, it bites. You're running out of options and bark rafts. So, what did cavemen actually do when their neighbors were the worst? Let's break it down. Step 1, the passive-aggressive phase. Cave diplomacy always kicks off the same way: petty, silent chaos. You shift your fire a little closer to their hunting trail, not in the way, just nearby. Then, you start drying your crusty underloin on the sun-warmed rocks they like to nap on. Maybe someone accidentally draws a mammoth in the cave murals with Org's sad droopy foot, totally unintentional. Clan fires back. They start howling louder at bedtime. Their kids yoink your best feathers. One of them pretends to limp to skip the hunt, then sprints after a rabbit like they've been healed by moss magic. It's war, but with more awkward eye contact and fewer pants. Step 2, the boundary ritual. Eventually, someone draws a line, literally. Ash, dirt, crushed berries, whatever works. A clear, dignified border is marked. From this burnt log to that depressed-looking bush, our turf. You present it calmly, respectfully, like civilized proto-humans. Next morning, Org's using the bush as a toilet and claims they thought the line was abstract art. So you break out the ancient tool of protest, the angry stick pile, stacked precisely on the border, symbol of fury, threat of kindling. Org retaliates with a passive moss heap, an insult so ridiculous it demands escalation. Step 3, the Council of Glares. Petty war stalls. It's time for serious diplomacy, the group stare-off. 2 tribes, 2 fires, 30 humans locking eyes like angry statues, no words, no blinking. Someone's eyelid twitches, someone eats a beet with malice, a toddler farts. The tension shatters, no one wins. Nothing's solved, but now it's deeply irrationally personal. Step 4, petty theft and passive foraging. Diplomacy's dead, it's mischief time. You accidentally gather mushrooms from Org's patch. They swipe your moss bedding. You clay smear their ceremonial goat. They retaliate by building a hut that blocks sunlight from your cook fire. Ant Grub etches a rude cave drawing. Org counters with stick figure slander. Soon, both cave walls become prehistoric Facebook. All shade, no likes. Step 5. The intervention of the shaman things escalate. A tuber meeting ends in tears. Someone punts the fire. Enter. The shaman, mud-covered, frog-slimed, possibly hallucinating, the shaman calls a peace ceremony. Feathers are offered, broth is sneezed into, a chant is mumbled, the shaman speaks. Skyrock spirits say, stop being buttsads. New rules are agreed, shared fire slots, no rock concerts after dusk, respect the berry zones. It's working, until Org builds a steam hut that vents directly into your bedroom cave. Step 6, the primal scream. Every community has a limit. Yours is reached when Org's goat eats your entire winter beet stash. You don't speak. You don't sob. You walk to the communal boulder and scream. From your gut, from your bones. A howl so loud the squirrels stop moving and an eagle screams back in empathy. Org hears it. Everyone hears it, and something shifts. No more singing at nap time. No more borrowing. The goat gets relocated. The scream works. Step 7, the truce dance. Days pass, moons turn, tension simmers. Then, one feast night, it happens. Your best drummer starts a rhythm. Their most coordinated cousin hip thrusts with feeling. It's weird, it's beautiful. You join, everyone joins, glaring, stomping, healing through sheer awkward movement. Later, they pass you a roasted yam. You nod. Next day, they leave a feather at your cave. You respond with a rock that says, truce, but I'm watching you. Peace, at last. Sort of. Caveman neighborhood watch. With peace somewhat hanging in the balance, the tribe decides it's time for structure, boundaries, civilization, or at least the Paleolithic version of a polite, hey, could you keep it down, note. So, they invent rules. The shush stone, a big smooth rock placed right outside your cave. Its message is clear. No yelling, baby sleeping, or grown-ups crying. Over time, it becomes shorthand for quiet, or I lose the last bit of my sanity. Mostly respected. Mostly the sharing log. A hollow log set between camps. Anything left on it is up for grabs. Roots, nuts, maybe mushrooms. Sometimes the mushrooms aren't for eating. Sometimes they're there to see who passes out first. A culinary tradition and a personality test all in one. The boundary beat, a single beat dramatically buried at the edge of your territory. Not for eating, no. This beat says, cross this line and I'll pee in your water jug, smiling the whole time. Subtle, passive-aggressive, effective. Are these rules perfect? Absolutely not. The shush stone gets ignored by toddlers. The sharing log is sometimes raided by curious raccoons. And once, the boundary beat was accidentally eaten by a wandering elder with zero spatial awareness. But somehow, they work. Mostly. The Annoying Neighbor Survival Guide. So what can we learn from all this prehistoric drama? Don't escalate too fast. Sometimes the difference between war and peace is one less aggressively timed fart. Use your shaman. Sure, they're weird, smell like moss and existential dread, but they hold real power. Dance it out. Nothing melts ancient grudges like a bunch of grunting humans squatting and stomping in sync around a fire. Draw your boundaries, literally. Then maybe back them up with a wall of prickly branches and a hefty dose of shame. Laugh, because the moment you stop finding it hilarious that Org yells motivational quotes at dawn, that's the moment you become the annoying neighbor. And now, us. Modern neighbors don't steal your berries or poop near your fire pit, but they do blast music at 3 a.m. like a pack of wild wolves with questionable taste. They park like blindfolded wombats in your perfectly manicured driveway. They let their dog pee on your carefully nurtured basil, and they never, ever return your hedge trimmer, even when you ask nicely. Twice. And yet, we survive. We negotiate trash days like tribal treaties. We send polite but slightly salty emails about noise and parking. We build fences high enough to block their glaring eyes, nod awkwardly in cramped elevators, and rake leaves just close enough to their lawn to say, "We're watching." Because deep down, we're still cave folk with slightly better plumbing, still trying to juggle peace, personal space, and the quiet, primal urge to scream into a rock without getting arrested. And somehow, it still works. So the next time your neighbor power washes their driveway at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, just as you're slipping into a spiritual sleep cycle, take a deep breath, channel your inner hunter-gatherer. Light a symbolic fire, maybe not an actual bonfire, let's keep it legal, maybe a scented candle that says, "I'm trying here." Draw a beat on their mailbox or leave a real one on the doorstep. Bonus points if it's half buried in dirt for extra passive-aggressive flair. Remember this. Cavemen didn't have HOA meetings. They didn't have community guidelines or strongly worded notes printed on recycled papyrus. They had awkward, stompy dances, loud boundary grunts, suspicious mushroom trades, and a shared understanding that even the most annoying neighbors were part of the same tribe. Until they moved upstream. Then you threw a going-away rock, softly, with ceremony, and called it a ritual. And maybe, just maybe, that's still how we do it.